Hi, it's Helen Tarrant. Welcome to another episode of Commercial Property Roadshow. This is Helen Tarrant. Now today I want to talk about working with your tenants because it's really important. Your tenants are your assets, so it's really important for you to work with your tenants on this. So sometimes some of you are experiencing some difficulties if you already are in a commercial property. Some of you are not. Some of you are buying. I know some of our clients are in the buying cycle and they're yet to settle on the commercial properties. But if you are in any kind of strife with your commercial properties, one of the biggest things you've got to realize in commercial property is that you've got to work with your tenants. Now, some things in commercial property you got to remember is never sweat the small stuff, because the small stuff is what comes to get you in the end. Because ultimately, if your tenant asks you to replace an air conditioning unit, it might be say 3, 4, or even 5 or 7 grand. Ultimately, that tenant might stay there for 10 years because you've done that one simple thing for them. They might ask you to petition or create an office space for them because their business is changing, business is growing. For example, right now, if some of your tenants are changing the model of the way they do work, or if they're changing the way they do work, as in that they're adding more services, they're going to do live streaming and they need different areas, for you to actually help them right now and work as if you're a partner in their business is fundamental to create future wealth for you. And that's about keeping your tenants happy. I get asked this question, how do you keep your tenants happy? But it's not actually about keeping your tenants happy as in to work with them through the process of increasing more value and more prosperity into their business. So the more you can do, and I don't mean more expensive stuff, I just mean things like there may need to be some partitioning, you might need to help them with some soundproofing, you might need to even help, and we have contributed sometimes to our tenants marketing and say, look, you know, if you want to do a new launch, I know this is a difficult time, let us help you with some, let's give you a rental incentive, let's give you a couple of grand to help you with that, because the more successful they are in their business, the more successful you are. So the 3 common rental incentives you could give to your tenant is 1, obviously a rent-free period. So you can give your tenant a rent-free period where it could be a month, 2 months, or 3 months. And that allows them time to use that money instead of the rent onto improving the business or putting equipment into the business. And often the tenants will do that. Number 2, you can help them with outgoings or you can contribute to their fit out. So helping them with outgoings is, you know, paying the rates or paying the water, paying strata fees or insurance. Normally you can structure your lease so that your tenant pays for all the outgoings, but that can be an additional 20-30% on top of their rent. So for you to take that from them for maybe a period of 3 or 6 months means that you're actually helping them out, allowing them to contribute to their own business. So they're using that money, or you give them a little bit of breather, allow them to spend some more money on advertising and marketing to get more people in, or allow them to hire some more staff as they need to. And the number 3 thing that people help their tenants to do is maybe contribute to part of their business services. So I have known some landlords who are in a particular type of business. So for example, you are in computing or technology, or you're in marketing yourself, or business coaching. They've actually helped their tenants by actually offering them to come to courses, by actually giving them some coaching. Of course, it's about a win-win situation. You don't want to cross the line between you and the tenant and become buddy-buddy and become friends with them. There's always going to be that fine line, kind of like if you're a parent to a child, almost like that. But the thing is, ultimately, you are working partnership with your tenant. And the idea is not about keeping your tenants happy, but the idea is about helping your tenant in their journey to make their business successful. So there's 3 things. Obviously, we've got rent incentives, so giving them a rent-free period. That could be free rent or half rent. We're helping them with a fit out, so it means putting up a wall for them, putting out air conditioning, maybe the carpets, or painting the place for them, making it into their, like what they would imagine their business to be. Or you can maybe, you know, take out some of their outgoings for a period of time. Number 3, helping them with their actual business services. So if there's anything you can contribute to them, absolutely. I think, you know, it's just offering them a hand. They could say no, but if you are already in the business and it's not costing you anything, you know, having your tenant there learning and trying to increase their business in any way, shape or form, you can help them, absolutely. And myself, I have been in small business myself before I was a commercial property specialist. I was a beauty therapist, and I used to talk to the tenants on both sides, so I knew what their leases looked like. I used to help them, give them guidance on it. So you know that if you can contribute to your tenant, if you can save your tenants money. Sometimes in our tenancy, we have helped our tenants by saying, hey, we will draft the lease for you rather than you pay for it, because we're in that profession. We can do it. We've got a template. It's going to save you $1,500. Now, that's really important when you've got a small business as your tenant. So look out for ways to help your tenant and work with your tenant to achieve the ultimate outcome. Remember, the more profitable your tenant is, the more you are going to be, and the more stable your investment's going to be, which means you can go on that holiday and you can get that house renovated. You can have that passive income because you've learned all it takes is a few small things for you to do and to touch base with your tenants to make sure that you're there for them through the difficult times, so they will remember you in the good times and create that sense of loyalty. So look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe, click the bell, and I'll see you soon. Bye.